Creating a garden for small spaces can have a big impact, and you'd be surprised at how much you can fit in. I'll show you how to turn a space like this into something special. What you're going to need is some pots or containers, a living wall kit, hanging baskets and liners, potting mix, scoria for drainage, and some pebbles. There's a lot of things you can use to make your garden. You can grow plants in pots and containers or on a living wall, and hanging baskets are also a good option. But the first thing you want to do is draw yourself up a plan. For my space, a living wall will be the feature. I'll add hanging baskets for symmetry, and finally a couple of pots for an additional layer. I've chosen evergreens for the living wall, which will look good all year round. Some flowering colour for the hanging baskets, and for the pots, a cordyline will be my feature, and I've chosen a hardy shrub for the filler. Once you have your plan, you can choose your plants to suit your location. Now we'll start by assembling our living wall. Ours is going to be attached to this fence, which is nice and simple. These battens will be screwed onto the rails, and then the planter boxes will hang off those. I've already stained these black to match the fence, and I've already pre-cut them to size. Now first, I'm just going to space out our wall gardens. And we want those probably about 100 mil off our centre post. And we're just going to mark that. Our batten is going to just be fixed onto the rail. So mark the middle. Then we're going to pre-drill a hole through that. So now, fix, screw through our batten here into the rail. Perfect. Right, now I'm just going to make sure that's nice and plumb down our fence. Now we're just going to secure it lower down. Now we'll measure the holes in the back of the planter box. That's going to give us the distance between our battens here, and then we can get that next one fixed on. Great, now they're up, ready for our planter boxes. We're going to put our first planter on these battens. Just make sure that it's nice and level. I'm just going to mark the holes in the back, and we'll put in our screws. There's our first one on. Great, check they look all right, and we can pull them all off and get them planted. Now the planting of these is pretty simple, and how you arrange them is really up to you. Now what we're going to do first is get a base layer of potting mix in there. We'll leave room for the plants themselves. And we just gently remove these from their pots. And then just pop them in. These evergreens will give us year-round interest on the living wall, and nothing should brown off or look scruffy. Just backfill and you're done. And those are ready to get hung up. Now you can hang your boxes up and give them a good water. Now this is really easy. Start from the top, and the water will just trickle down through to the bottom layer. Hanging baskets come in a variety of shapes and sizes. They all need a liner to stop the soil falling out. This has got a coconut husk liner, but you can also use a sphagnum moss. Now the first thing you want to do is take the hook that it comes with and find where you're going to mount it on the wall. Now it's good to do this while it's light and it's empty. We just want to line that up roughly with our other living wall here. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to screw that onto the wall. Perfect. We're going to get this potted up. I'm going to use a petunia plant today. First of all, we're going to put in a base of pot power, which is just a really good starting mix. Put a decent amount in there. Make a little room for your plant. For my hanging basket, I'm planting a super petunia bubblegum. It's fragrant and flowers all season long, so perfect for this situation. So now we're going to plant up our pots. First, you want to make sure that they've got a hole in the bottom so the water can get out. Otherwise, your roots can rot and the plant can drown. To help with the drainage as well, I'm going to add a base of some scoria. Pour a good amount of this in there. And after that, we're going to add some of this pot power. Now that's got a wetting agent and fertilizers in it, which is going to help give our plant the best start. Leave a little bit of room for the plant. And just gently get that out of the pot. Place it in here, and then just backfill with a bit more of your potting mix. Gently press that all in, around the pot. Add some decorative pebbles which look great and also keep the weeds away, then just water in. And that's our small space garden complete. Most plants will do well grown in containers, so just check the label of your favourite ones to see when the best time to plant is and their optimum growing location. Make sure you match your shade and sun conditions to the plants you choose, and that you have the right size pot to support their mature size. If you're unsure what to plant in your small space, come ask the team in store. Regular watering is essential as plants grown in pots and containers tend to dry out more. A good way to check is to put your finger down the side of the pot. If it's dry, then the plant needs watering. Also, think about an irrigation system if you're going on holiday. Keep a good eye out for pests and disease and come in store for any advice. To ward off any unwanted insects, make sure to weed your pots and tidy up old leaves or any spent flowers. And top up your containers with a fertilizer a couple of times a year for a general boost. With some clever planning, you can transform your small space into something pretty special. Make sure you subscribe to the Mitre YouTube channel for more great content, or click here to watch more now.